Oh boy, guys, it is 3:30, time to wrap it up for today. And I guess the tariff talk is what's freaking this market out. So we had a shot this morning. Looked like we had a reasonable shot at taking this, holding on to our gains, maybe taking this higher. No, 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 no. At this point, we are in a free fall. There's like tariff threat market is panicking. We were up here holding up pretty good. Look at that big outside day from Friday. That is pretty freaking spectacular, isn't it? So we were higher in the morning, and now we're lower than Friday's low, and we are right in here in shitty territory where we can head quite a bit lower. So we'll see if they're gonna hold it in the last half hour, or if it's gonna be us crazy ass, crazy day stuff happening. Uh, Big moves to the downside on the stocks. Don't look at your 401k. That looks pretty freaking ugly right now. So we just have to play that by ear. But at this point, definitely looking at a pretty freaking weak market. So across the board selling. This 2 o'clock hour we had at the first run down here, we had looked to a potential change in direction, but it wasn't no real change. It was just a little pause, and then they just kept going lower. So we are down here at the 5830s and pointed lower. So that's how we're going to get started. We'll see. I mean, sometimes you get this crazy snapback at the very end. We'll see what happens, but I'm thinking this is a tariff sell-off, so I'm not looking for a snapback or bargain hunt at this point. I think people are sitting on the sidelines, shaking in their boots, and that's pretty much where we are. I have not traded this today. I have not even tried to. It's just been too volatile and it's not getting better. So this is just crazy volatility going on 10 plus point bars and the market just in a free fall. Now, if you can get on that thing, you had great opportunities, but it's just being able to get in without getting shaken out and not end up in a big trade inadvertently, right? Now you saw this thing last time we did the after. We were talking about this area right there, and I said on the way down, this little spot, little pullback. That's the kind of look what they're looking for to get short for a move down. Now, sometime one time you're gonna get wrong, and look at that right there. That's when you're wrong, right? So that's when you're sitting here, you're trying to get the short, and you're looking at, oh yeah, it's going my way, and then boom, here snap back to the upside. And they take it all the way up here to the 23s, and you may be short, say, from the 06s. So now you're almost 20 points in the hole. I mean and that's not doable. I mean it's you get repair it here at the 17 to try to. I mean it's if you would be sitting in a big trade, put it that way. At this point, it didn't need to pull back. It just kept grinding this higher, and at that point, it took it all the way up here to the high. So depending on how far you want to go. You can, I mean, they even ran the stops above that rotation, right? So if you were trying to get safe above that one, that last rotation could have gotten you out. I mean, this would have been sitting in the losing trade for an hour and just get shaken out, and I would just, I mean, you would be crying. That's how it goes. Grown men crying. That's what that looks like. Anyway, at this point, yes, free for all to the downside. I haven't tried to trade it. I would have loved to try to get on the short side, but I just can't. It's just a little bit too volatile. So I thought it was going to slow down a little bit volatility wise, but you can see here they this last hour just leaning into it into the 3 o'clock hour and just no relief. So we'll see if we get how it turns in, how it ends up closing. But starting off on the short side, let's see if something happens here early this week when it comes to the tariffs. But tariffs are coming on Nasdaq and Canada and Mexico, and China is getting their fair share. So there's going to be some turbulence, I would think. Anyway, so starting off on the short side, look to sell strength at this point for rotations back down again. That's kind of how we get started. Then let's see how if we get a violent retracement very late in the session, I doubt you're going to see that. I may change some more to a range band approach, but at this point, starting from the short side. Looking at the Nasdaq and the bonds, so the bond market early on signaled that the flight to safety is still on. They started taking this higher. So you can see in the bond market, they're starting to take out the resistance here at the 18, 1, 10 to 12. When that happened, we took off the short buy or the range bound approach and started looking at the long side. And look at that. They took it all the way up to the 119.04. So that just signaled early on that if the market is still thinking flight to safety, it's all about the tariffs right now. Tariff freak out. And if you have money on the sidelines, this is a buying opportunity. Just so you know, it looks freaking gnarly. This is the gory part, the blood on the streets feeling. Big moves to the downside. Nvidia is down $11 today, $11 down on Nvidia. That is pretty spectacular. So that is a buying opportunity. You're going to look back when Nvidia is trading back at 140, 150, and wonder why didn't I buy it? Well, it's because you're scared. Fear index is way up. How low can it go? But that's a pretty darn good price. So anyway, looking at the trade the bonds on the long side, Nasdaq, total free fall to the downside. They're down at the 2300s. And we are down again. An outside day on the Nasdaq like this is just, look at that. They were all the way up here, now they're all the way down. This is, I thought Friday was a bad day. This is it like to get even worse. So this is the free for all sell off, tariff related. And we are right down here into that key support there at the 2400, 3 to 400. That comes out. The next support is going to be 20,000, and then we're going to be down in areas we haven't been in for quite a while. We've been down here. That was in November. We were down here. It's like 6 months ago. So that's pretty gnarly, guys. That's pretty gnarly. 6 months of gains given back in a week. So that is tough going. But that's what a little bit of a freak out looks like. So across the board, algo selling. Don't sell it. Don't sell anything. If you have good quality stocks, just hold on to them. It's gonna come right back up again when this stuff blows over. So anyway, so trade that from the short side at this point, unless the Nasdaq for some magical reason snaps back and closes well above this 2500. We may think about the range bound market, but I'm just going to start from the short side. It's hard to say that we're going to go back range bound. So that's where we are. Look to sell strength for rotations back down. I mean, I've been watching it. I've been tempted to hop on a trade, but this little rotation right there is like 408 up to 435. So this is my stop size right there. That little pull pop to the upside. So you can imagine if I try to sell into anything like this, I have to put a stop size which is going to be up here. It's going to be like 5 times my normal stop size to be on the safe side of that, but I'm not doing it. So sitting on my hands today, and I'm proud of it. Sometimes you want to get in and engage this stuff. It's just too volatile, and the way you find out is like you trade with your regular size, your regular stop size, and you get in, you get out. You get in, you get shaken out right away. You get in, you get shaken out. Every good trade, you're going to get more or less shaken out unless you're lucky, and when you're wrong, you're going to lose. So that is the dynamic you want to avoid. Oil and gold. So gold is not going anywhere. That's kind of holding in the range. That's kind of where they are. So trading range bound on gold. They're still to the upside, but hasn't taken out the 29.05. So I'm going to start off range bound. I'm going to be looking for early strength. If they can take out the 29.05s, we may be in good shape to take this higher. If not, that retest could set up a nice short. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold. But gold hasn't moved, as you notice. It's no flight to safety on gold. It's a little bit trading higher a bit, but they're coming back from a low. So kind of counterintuitive. And oil to the downside in a big way. They took it all the way down here to the 68s. So have it well down in that lower end of the range. Still have another buck to go before you really start thinking about the move out of the middle. But definitely looks like a pretty good move to the lower end of the range. So, and you put it out there, Mihail. The OPEC, it's going to be pumping more oil, so that would do it. That would absolutely do it. All right, so you can see I've just placed the test order today. I have not taken any trades, and that was about it. And I'm actually proud of myself for not trying to be cute about it and trying to engage it. It's super tempting, but I have been a day like this. It's you either hero or zero. You know what I mean? Either you get in and you make some money and you get a little bit lucky, but the volatility just works against you. So you can be right on the trade and get shaken out, either high ticked or you get in on the low on a momentum trade. It stalls, runs back up, and shakes you out. It's just too volatile. So I would just stay on the sidelines and wait for it to calm down a bit. Or if you want to trade it, just make sure you have appropriate stop sizes so that because you know when you're wrong, it's going to be when it takes out this tablet and then some. So I mean, I would stay above this rotation to be safe on it and in a move like this, and that's just a big trade. So anyway, you try to get short at 44, you had to be a stop at the 60, about 15, almost 20 points higher. So that's 4 times my regular stop. So that's why I'm not trading it. All right, guys, enough about that. So we'll wrap it there for now. No trades from me today. Tomorrow morning we have pretty much no news. So we'll see how these tariffs, if they kick in, how the market's going to feel about this whole thing. But expect volatility, expect some craziness. A lot of volume. So um, that's kind of be careful if you're going to trade it. Alrighty, guys, we leave it there. I'll see you back in the morning. You have a good evening later.